Go over this Germany index just because it is here. Delete this. We'll move this over. And just make sure the stream is all good. Yep, this all looks good. Okay. So getting started with this German index here. We'll delete this zone because price did break it. Looking at things on the monthly and the weekly, what do we see? So last month did make new highs. Did close relatively full. So this tells me it's still bullish. So although I don't know how these indexes are still bullish, but given our economic circumstances, but that is fine. We will look for a bull trade, a long position. I don't think I'll personally take it, but I'll still scope this out. I'll still mark it out. Oops. And see if anyone else can benefit from this. I just don't want to buy indexes because I believe they're very overpriced, and with interest rates going up and everything everywhere, they are overpriced, and to me buying that just seems wrong, even though it can still continue to go up, and it has. So, you know, technicality wise, this is a buy, but fundamentally, you know, looking at the economic situation, not a buy. But that's irrelevant in this because we are just simply trading. So we gotta look at our monthly range here. It's about 1,000 points. So we'll say our bottom is about 16,000. I do like that this lines up really nice as far as whole numbers. You know, 16,000 is our low. It's this area here. And then our high is going to be 17,000. So that is the monthly range for this German index here, the GER40, I guess you would call it. So we're going to look for, price is clearly pulling back. It's got, you know, the bears are coming, pulling it back a bit. You got this major zone here, might not make it to, and it's pulling back after it made this huge bull run. So totally normal, totally fair. If we look at, you know, a Fibonacci of this is our 50% zone. So I would actually say that this would be your entry zone, as long as price, you know, structure and all that, price action determines the same thing. I would say this is most likely going to be a good entry area at the 50%, between the 50 and the 618. So we'll see how today and then tomorrow and possibly Thursday closes. So because ideally for me to enter this, if I was to take a long position, I need price to hit this zone and then reject. So today ideally would come down into this zone, close. Tomorrow so ideally today would come down into this zone, close outside of it. Then tomorrow there'd be another candle that's small, deep into the zone, pulls back, also close above the zone, and then on Thursday there's a bullish candle that engulfs it, and let's say comes to here. Then that tells me that the structure's setting up, the bulls have entered, they found their area that they wanted to buy, they're ready to buy it, and you know, that's going to head higher. So that's what I would look at for an entry, something like this. So you have to wait for price and structure to set up. You need price to come back down into this zone. This one ideally, this is your main one here that we have marked, but this is your 50 to 618 based on the recent leg that has not retraced yet and is currently retracing. So what you want to see is price come down into this zone and then the structure set up. So on 1 hour, you know, price is most likely, I mean, it might actually hold above this 1 hour, which would be a good sign. It did here. So if this starts rejecting here and holds above this 1 hour, then, you know, that might be a good enough sign that the bulls have entered. And then if not, you just wait for something, you wait for some, let's say it does break into this zone but starts rejecting, and it does cross this moving average. It's no big deal, but you start seeing something like this. We'll make this a little bit higher actually out of this zone. You start seeing something like this, then you can tell that the price action and the momentum is shifting upwards, and then you're good on a buy there. So that is the GER40. We're going to wait a little bit longer for that, and then enter the buy position, target the full monthly range, make some good money. You're looking at a 8 to 10 R, and you can always adjust your stop accordingly. Once price enters this zone, you can kind of see where it's rejecting. You would just set your stops below that price, and then usually good to go. So that is GER40.